was starting out as a photographer 25 years ago, headshots were limited to actors, entertainers, models, and some corporate clients. Nowadays, the explosion of social media means that a far broader percentage of the population understand the importance of a good headshot for business and personal networking. Photographing headshots is how I got my break in the photography industry. I began shooting actors and models headshots and progressed to editorial photography, which led me into the world of celebrity photography. If you are shooting headshots, it's important to work in a style that reflects your client's needs and personality. So let's talk about the different types of headshots. Let's start with actors' headshots. As a general rule, actors' headshots should be a reasonably accurate portrayal of what the person looks like. Hair and makeup and lighting should be natural, clothing should be neutral, and so should location. Retouching should be minimal. Your model's expression should show some personality and make the person viewing the photo want to know more about the person they are looking at. Traditional acting headshots used to be head and shoulders only and usually shot in a studio. These days the style is far more lifestyle, looking with a hint of background and often cropped to have 3/4 body length. This shot of actor Jared DeParis shows the difference between a lifestyle shot and an actor's headshot. In the first setup, I have Jared sitting on the ground so that his body is 3/4 to camera and his head is then turned to face square to camera. The pose, location and expression are fairly neutral so that Jared is the hero of the portrait. This shot is too loose to be a good headshot. There's too much background and not enough of Jared, but this would work really well as a publicity shot in his portfolio. In this tighter crop, we can see that Jared is the hero of the shot. In this image of comedian Sean McAuliffe, you can see I've worked with a tight crop through the chest and leaving some room above the head. Notice the natural expression. In this portrait of actor comedian Michael Veitch, I wanted to capture a natural headshot and also shoot something that showed some personality. A headshot should have eyes connected to the camera, and it's always a good idea to try and get something else as a second or third option. I love capturing candid shots like this, or the moments between frames when the model is not always aware they are being photographed. Corporate headshots have changed dramatically in the past few years. Traditionally, corporate headshots were shot on dark backgrounds and looked stiff and formal. Today, the style is much freer and reflects the personality and business of the individual. Here is an example of a contemporary corporate portrait of a group of creatives from the advertising agency Dig and Fish. The background is bright, clean and nondescript, making each of the creatives the hero of the shot. The interesting thing you can't tell about this photo shoot, it was the hottest summer day on record and the warehouse I was shooting in didn't have any air conditioning. I think it was hotter inside the studio than outside. Derek Zoolander once wisely said, "I'm pretty sure there's a lot more to life than being really, really ridiculously good looking, and I plan on finding out what that is." I love that quote. Fashion models' headshots are all about capturing beauty. They should show what is possible, and they're often enhanced with high-end hair, makeup and styling and retouching. It's not uncommon for a model's headshot to look nothing like the model in real life. This is a shot I took of Mimi Elishiri in Paris, and for this shot we wanted to have a really fresh girl next door shot with some edges, so the brief to the makeup artist was to keep the look natural and young, whereas in this shot of model Mallory Jansen in New York, the brief was for an edgier, harder look. Regardless of what type of headshot I'm photographing, I always follow the same basic rules. This applies to a photo of an A-lister or Sharon, the owner of the local cafe.